let me talk to you about something new. Peter Steinberger's here, and he wrote a piece of software. It's called OpenClaw, and I don't know if he realized how successful it's going to be, but the importance is profound. OpenClaw is the #1, it's the most popular open source project in the history of humanity, and it did so in just a few weeks. It exceeded what Linux did in 30 years. And it's that important. It is that important. It will do, well, this is all you do, okay? We're announcing our support of it. Let me just quickly go through this. I want to show you a couple things. You simply type this. You type this into a console, and it goes out. It finds OpenClaw. It downloads it. It builds you an AI agent, and then you could tell it whatever else you need to do. Okay? So let's take a look.
An open source project just dropped.
Andre Karpathy has just launched something called Research is a huge deal.
You give an AI agent a task, go to sleep, it runs 100 experiments overnight, keeping what works and killing what doesn't.
I really love what my stuff enables that person to do. And we had like one guy, he told me like he installed it as his 60-year-old dad, and like they made beer, connected the machine via Bluetooth to OpenClaw, and then we automated everything, including the whole website for people to order.
Der Lobsterlager fertig sein.
Hundreds of people are queuing up for lobsters in Shenzhen.
OpenClaw.
We want to build OpenClaw with OpenClaw.
Everyone is talking about OpenClaw, but what is OpenClaw?
Believe it or not, there's already a Claw con.
Incredible, incredible. Now, I illustrated effectively what OpenClaw is in this way, and so that all of you can understand it, but let's just think what happened. What is OpenClaw? It connects, it's an agentic system. It calls and connects to large language models. So the first thing it has resources that it manages. It could access tools, it could access file systems, it could access large language models. It's able to do scheduling. It's able to do cron jobs. It's able to decompose a prompt that you gave it into step by step by step. It could spawn off and call upon other sub-agents. It has I/O. You could talk to it in any modality you want. You could wave at it and it understands you. You could talk to any modality you want. sends you messages, it texts you, sends you email. So it's got I/O. What else does it have? Well, based on that, you could say, in fact, it's an operating system. I've just used the same syntax that I would describe an operating system. OpenClaw has open sourced essentially the operating system of agentic computers. It is no different than how Windows made it possible for us to create personal computers. Now OpenClaw has made it possible for us to create personal agents. The implication is incredible. The implication is incredible. First of all, the adoption says something, all in itself. However, the most important thing is this. Every single company now realize, every single company, every single software company, every single technology company, for the CEOs, the question is, what's your OpenClaw strategy? Just as we need to all have a Linux strategy, we all needed to have an HTTP, HTML strategy, which started the internet. We all needed to have a Kubernetes strategy, which made it possible for mobile cloud to happen. Every company in the world today needs to have an OpenClaw strategy, an agentic system strategy. This is the new computer. Now, this is just the exciting part. This is enterprise IT before OpenClaw, and I mentioned earlier, the way enterprise IT works, and the reason why it's called data centers is because these large rooms, these large buildings held data, held the files of people, the structured data of business. It would pass through software that has tools and systems of records and all kinds of workflow that's codified into it, and that turns into tools that humans would use, digital workers would use. That is the old IT industry. Software companies creating tools, saving files, and of course, GSI's consultants that help companies figure out how to use these tools and integrate these tools. These tools are incredibly valuable for governance and security and privacy and compliance, and all of that continues to be true. It's just that post-OpenClaw, post-agentic, this is what it's going to look like. This is the extraordinary part. Every single IT company, every SaaS company will become a gas company. No question about it. Every single SaaS company will become a gas company, an agentic as a service company. And what's amazing is this, OpenClaw gave the industry exactly what it needed at exactly the time. Just as Linux gave the industry exactly what it needed at exactly the time, just as Kubernetes showed up at exactly the right time, just as HTML showed up. It made it possible for the entire industry to grab onto this open source stack and go do something with it. There's just one catch. Agentic systems in the corporate network can have access to sensitive information, it can execute code, and it can communicate externally. Just say that out loud, okay? Think about it. Access sensitive information, execute code, communicate externally. You could, of course, access employee information, access supply chain, access finance information, sensitive information, and send it out, communicate externally. Obviously, this can't possibly be allowed. And so what we did was we worked with Peter. We took some of the world's best security and computing experts, and we worked with Peter to make OpenClaw enterprise secure and enterprise private capable. And we call that, this is our NVIDIA OpenClaw reference for NemoClaw, which is a reference for OpenClaw, and it has all these agentic AI toolkits, and the first part of it is technology we call OpenShell that has now been integrated into OpenClaw. Now it's enterprise ready. This stack with a reference design we call NemoClaw, okay? With a reference stack we call NemoClaw, you could download it, play with it, and you could connect to it the policy engine of all of the SaaS companies in the world. And your policy engines are super important, super valuable. So the policy engines could be connected. NemoClaw or OpenClaw with OpenShell would be able to execute that policy engine. It has a network guardrail. It has a privacy router. And as a result, we could protect and keep the claws from executing inside our company and do it safely. We also added several things to the agentic system. And one of the most important things you want to do with your own custom claws is so that you can have your custom models. And this is NVIDIA's Open Model Initiative. We are now at the frontier of every single domain of AI models. Whether it's Nemotron, Cosmos World Foundation model, Groot, artificial general robotics, humanoid robotics models, Alpamayo for autonomous vehicle, BioNemo for digital biology, Earth-2 for AI physics. We are at the frontier on every single one. Take a look.
The world is diverse. No single model can serve every industry. Open Models is one of the largest and most diverse AI ecosystems in the world. Nearly 3 million open models across language, vision, biology, physics, and autonomous systems enable AI builds for specialized domains. NVIDIA is one of the largest contributors to open source AI. We build and release 6 families of open frontier models, plus the training data, recipes, and frameworks to help developers customize and adopt. New leaderboard topping models are launching for every family. At the core, Nemotron, reasoning models for language, visual understanding, RAG, safety, and speech.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Cosmos, frontier models for physical AI world generation and understanding. Alpamayo, the world's first thinking and reasoning autonomous vehicle AI. Groot, foundation models for general purpose robots. BioNemo, open models for biology, chemistry, and molecular design. Earth-2, models for weather and climate forecasting, rooted in AI physics. NVIDIA open models give researchers and developers the foundation to build and deploy AI for their own specialized domains.
Our models, thank you. Our models are valuable to all of you because number one, it's on the top of the leaderboard. It's world class. But most importantly, it's because we are not going to give up working on it. We're going to keep on working on it every single day. Nemotron 3 is going to be followed by Nemotron 4. Cosmos 1 was followed by Cosmos 2. Groot at Generation 2. Each and one of these, we're going to continue to advance these models. Vertical integration, horizontal openness, so that we can enable everybody to join the AI revolution. Number one on leaderboard across research and voice and world models and artificial general robotics and self-driving cars and reasoning. And of course, one of the most important one, this is Nemotron 3 in OpenClaw. This is Nemotron 3 in OpenClaw. And look at the top 3. There are the 3 best models in the world. Okay, so we are at the frontier. It is also true that we want to create the foundation model so that all of you could fine-tune it, post-train it into exactly the intelligence you need. This is Nemotron 3 Ultra. It is going to be the best base model the world's ever created. This allows us to help every country build their sovereign AI. And we're working with so many different companies out there. And one of the most exciting things that we're doing today, I'm announcing today, is a Nemotron coalition. We are so dedicated to this. We have invested billions of dollars of AI infrastructure so that we could develop the core engines for AI that's necessary for all the libraries of inference and so on, but also to create the AI models to activate every single industry in the world. Large language models is really important. Of course it's important. How could human intelligence not be? However, In different industries around the world, in different countries around the world, you need to have the ability to customize your own models, and the domain of the models is radically different, from biology to physics to self-driving cars to general robotics to, of course, human language. And we have the ability to work with every single region to create their domain-specific, their sovereign AI. Today, we're announcing a coalition to partner with us to make Nemotron 4 even more amazing. And that coalition has some amazing companies in it. Black Forest Labs, imaging company, Cursor, the famous coding company, we use lots of it, LangChain, billion downloads for creating custom agents, Mistral, the Arthur mentioned, I think he's here, incredible company, Perplexity's computer, absolutely use it. Everybody use it. It is so good. A multimodal agentic system, Reflection, Sarvam from India, Thinking Machine, Mira Murati's lab. Incredible companies joining us. Thank you. I said that every single enterprise company, every single software company in the world needs an agentic systems, need an agent strategy. You need to have an OpenClaw strategy, and they all agree. And they're all partnering with us to integrate Nemo, the NemoClaw reference design, the NVIDIA Agentic AI Toolkit, and of course, all of our open models. One company after another, there's so many, and we're partnering with all of you. I'm really grateful for that. And this is our moment. This is a reinvention. This is a renaissance of the enterprise IT. From what would be a $2 trillion industry, this is going to become a multi-trillion-dollar industry, offering not just tools for people to use, but agents that are specialized in very special domains that you're expert in, that we could rent. I could totally imagine in the future, every single engineer in our company will need an annual token budget. They're gonna make a few $100,000 a year, their base pay. I'm gonna give them probably half of that on top of it as tokens so that they could be amplified 10x. Of course we would. It is now one of the recruiting tools in Silicon Valley. How many tokens comes along with my job? And the reason for that is very clear, because every engineer that has access to tokens will be more productive. And those tokens, as you know, will be produced by AI factories that all of you and us, we partner to build, okay? So every single enterprise company in today sit on top of file systems and data centers. Every single software company of the future will be agentic, and they will be token manufacturers. There'll be token users for their engineers, and there'll be token manufacturers for all of their customers. The OpenClaw event cannot be understated. This is as big of a deal as HTML. This is as big of a deal as Linux. We have now a world-class open agentic framework that all of us could use to build our OpenClaw strategy. And we've created a reference design we call NemoClaw, that all of you could use, that is optimized, it's performant, it is safe and secure.